Have you ever noticed a growing distance in your relationships, but couldn't pinpoint why? As the years pass, many of us grow comfortable in patterns that feel safe. Yet these very habits can become invisible barriers, shaping how others see and interact with us. In this video, we'll explore 12 overlooked behaviors that may unknowingly erode your connections, and how subtle shifts can reignite warmth, rebuild trust, and help you move through the world with renewed confidence. Before we dive in, if you're ready to uncover what's been holding you back, hit subscribe and tap the bell so you never miss insights like these. If this topic resonates with you, comment yes below. It fuels our mission to create content that matters. And if it doesn't, comment an O to let us know how we can improve. Let's begin with a habit so subtle you might not realize its power until it's already reshaped your relationships. 1. Ignoring basic cleanliness routines. Over time, the routines that once kept you feeling fresh and confident can quietly fall by the wayside. You might think, I've earned a right to relax, or why does it matter now? But the truth is, skipping daily rituals like washing your face, brushing your teeth, or freshening up before social interactions sends subtle signals to those around you. Signals that speak louder than words. Picture this: a collar yellowed from wear, breath that carries the faint tang of skipped meals, or skin that's gone days without a gentle cleanse. To you, these might seem like trivial oversights, barely worth a second thought. To others, however, they hint at a deeper disengagement, a quiet retreat from the shared rhythms of daily life. Loved ones might hesitate to lean in for a hug or share a meal, not out of cruelty, but because they sense an invisible wall of discomfort. This isn't about perfection or vanity. It's about honoring the dignity of presence. Simple acts: rinsing your face with cool water, swiping a mint before conversations, or slipping into a clean shirt, aren't chores. They're quiet affirmations. I care about how I show up for myself and others. Even if mobility challenges make baths difficult or memory lapses disrupt routines, adapting, think no-rinse cleansers, setting gentle reminders, or asking for discreet help, becomes an act of resilience. When you prioritize these small, yet meaningful gestures, you replace hesitation with warmth. A freshly washed face or a spritz of aftershave isn't just about scent. It's an invitation. It says, I'm here fully, and I value our time together. If you're ready to reclaim this daily rhythm, comment clean start below. Let's rebuild one step at a time. 2. Dominating dialogues with unsought advice. With age comes a treasure trove of experience, and the desire to share it can feel like a duty. You might catch yourself saying, you'll regret that choice, or let me tell you how this ends, believing you're offering a lifeline of wisdom. But to those on the receiving end, a granddaughter pursuing an unconventional career, a neighbor adopting a rescue pet, or a friend moving abroad, your words can feel less like guidance and more like a verdict. Consider this: a grandchild hesitates to share their passion for art after hearing, you'll never make a living that way, or a colleague avoids discussing their divorce because they dread a lecture on the sanctity of marriage. These moments, though fleeting, seed reluctance. Conversations grow guarded, and opportunities for genuine connection shrink. People don't withdraw out of disrespect. They retreat to protect their autonomy. The solution isn't to mute your voice, but to temper it with humility. Before speaking, ask yourself, is this a wound they've asked me to heal? Or am I dressing my own fears as wisdom? Replace absolutes like always or never with curiosity. What excites you about this path? Or how can I help you navigate this? By trading certainty for compassion, you transform from critic to ally. Your stories still matter, but when paired with patience, they become invitations, not interruptions. Younger generations will lean in, not away, eager to hear the lessons you've earned, not enforced. If you're committing to this balance, comment balance below. Let's create spaces where every voice thrives. 3. Clinging to outgrown styles without adaptation. Familiarity brings comfort, and there's undeniable solace in reaching for the same well-loved cardigan or decades-old loafers. But when clothing becomes a relic of the past, too tight, too loose, or frozen in a style that no longer reflects who you are today. It does more than alter your silhouette. It silently reshapes how others perceive your vitality and engagement with the world. Imagine a shirt straining at the seams, its fabric stretched thin from years of wear, or shoes so worn the soles have lost their grip. To you, these items might feel like loyal companions, symbols of a life well lived. To others, however, they whisper a narrative of stagnation. Colleagues might assume you've retired mentally long before physically, while grandchildren might struggle to see your relevance in a world they perceive as evolving without you. This isn't about chasing trends or mimicking youth culture. It's about embracing intentionality. Clothing that fits well isn't just fabric, it's a dialogue. A tailored jacket that schemes your shoulders without constriction, pants hemmed to graze your ankles neatly, or shoes that support rather than sag, all declare, I'm present, and I respect the space I occupy. Even small adjustments matter. Swapping a faded belt for one with a polished buckle, or choosing colors that harmonize with your skin tone, can reignite a sense of agency. Consider the psychology of color. A crisp navy sweater or a scarf in a vibrant hue doesn't just brighten your appearance. It influences moods and interactions. Studies show warmer tones like coral or soft yellows can evoke approachability, while darker shades project authority. By mindfully selecting hues, you wield silent power in social dynamics. Physical changes with age are natural, but they needn't limit self-expression. Adaptive clothing, magnetic closures instead of buttons, stretch fabrics for ease of movement, offers dignity without compromising style. Brands now design pieces that blend functionality with sophistication, proving comfort and elegance aren't mutually exclusive. And don't underestimate the role of texture. A linen shirt's crispness or a wool blend's softness can subtly communicate care, even if the outfit is simple. It's not about expense. Thrifted finds or upcycled pieces can carry the same intentionality. By curating a wardrobe that aligns with your current self, you challenge stereotypes of decline. You become a living rebuttal to the notion that aging means fading into the background. Instead, you step forward, visible, vibrant, and unapologetically engaged. If you're ready to redefine your style narrative, comment Renew below. Let's craft a presence that speaks before you do. 4. Overstepping conversations with unyielding opinions. Experience grants perspective, but when every discussion becomes a platform to assert your views, even well-meaning insights can feel like impositions. Imagine a family debate about climate change, where you interject with, "Back in my day, we didn't have these issues," or a friend's casual mention of a new hobby met with, "That's a waste of time." To you, these remarks might feel like truths earned through decades of living. To others, they sound like verdicts, leaving little room for dialogue. This habit often stems from a desire to protect or guide, a grandchild's career choice, a neighbor's parenting style, or a community project's direction. Yet when conversations become monologues, the subtext shifts. My way is the only way. People begin to edit themselves, sharing only surface-level thoughts to avoid debates. Over time, this dynamic stifles connection, reducing relationships to polite exchanges devoid of depth. The remedy lies in curiosity over certainty. Instead of declaring, "You should do X," try asking, "What drew you to this idea?" Pause after others speak, letting their words linger before offering your own. In group settings, practice passing the mic, literally or metaphorically, by inviting quieter voices to contribute first. This isn't about silencing your wisdom, but framing it as one thread in a larger tapestry. When you balance sharing with soliciting, you create fertile ground for mutual growth. People no longer see you as a lecturer, but as a collaborator, someone who values their agency as much as your own. If you're embracing this shift, comment "Listen" below. Let's turn monologues into meaningful exchanges. 5. Dismissing modern values as naive idealism. It's easy to view younger generations' passions, climate activism, remote work preferences, or fluid career paths as impractical or disconnected from real life. You might scoff at a grandchild's commitment to zero-waste living, we never needed that in my time. Or dismiss a friend's digital nomad lifestyle. How is that a proper job? These judgments, though rooted in concern, often come across as condescension, widening the divide between your lived experience and their evolving reality. The disconnect lies not in differing values, but in framing them as right versus wrong. For instance, a teenager's dedication to mental health boundaries might seem like fragility to you, while their embrace of gig work feels unstable. Yet, these choices reflect their adaptation to a world you didn't grow up in, one shaped by economic volatility, climate crises, and digital interconnectedness. When met with eye rolls or sighs, younger individuals internalize a message: my reality isn't valid here. The antidote is bridging, not judging. Replace "that'll never work" with "help me understand why this matters to you." Acknowledge the courage it takes to navigate uncharted territory, even if their path feels foreign. Share stories of your own risks and uncertainties at their age, creating parallels rather than contrasts. This doesn't mean abandoning your principles. It means expanding your lens to include theirs. By validating their struggles, you become a safe harbor in a turbulent world. They'll seek your wisdom not as a critique, but as a compass, knowing you see their efforts as worthy, not wasteful. If you're choosing curiosity over criticism, comment "bridge" below. Let's close the gap, one conversation at a time. 6. Centering conversations around physical limitations. As years advance, it's natural to face health challenges, but when every chat circles back to aches, prescriptions, or doctor's appointments, even the most patient listeners begin to withdraw. Imagine a coffee meetup where a friend's vacation plans are met with "my knees could never handle that," or a grandchild's graduation celebration overshadowed by a monologue about your latest blood test results. To you, these topics might feel like unavoidable realities. To others, they become emotional quicksand, difficult to escape without seeming dismissive. This habit often stems from a need for empathy or a fear of being forgotten. Yet, fixating on limitations inadvertently frames your identity around decline. Friends might cancel plans preemptively, dreading another hour of symptom inventories, while younger relatives struggle to reconcile the vibrant person they remember with the one who now seems defined by diagnoses. The key is balance, not silence. Share health updates when they're relevant, but anchor conversations in shared joys. For every mention of a medication, share a memory of a hike you once loved or ask about the other person's recent adventures. Redirect focus to what's giving you energy lately rather than what's draining mine. Consider exploring new interests together, audiobooks, birdwatching, or light gardening, to create fresh talking points. These activities not only diversify dialogue, but also reinforce your agency. When others see you engaging beyond ailments, they reconnect with the multifaceted person you've always been. If you're committing to richer conversations, comment "shift" below. Let's replace fatigue with fascination. 7. Resisting new perspectives without reflection. Life's journey hardens some beliefs into unshakable truths. Views on politics, gender roles, or even technology that feel carved in stone. Phrases like "that's not how things are done," or "we survive just fine without all this nonsense" might slip out during debates about renewable energy, modern parenting, or digital privacy. To you, these statements defend principles you've long held sacred. To others, they sound like rejections of progress, widening the chasm between your world and theirs. Picture a grandchild sharing their non-binary identity, only to hear, "back in my day, we didn't have these complicated labels." Or a neighbor's enthusiasm for solar panels met with, "you're wasting money on a fad." These moments, though brief, leave lasting imprints. Younger generations begin to self-censor, guarding their beliefs to avoid clashes, while peers sidestep meaningful discussions altogether. The issue isn't holding convictions, it's refusing to examine them. Growth doesn't require abandoning your values, but softening the edges of certainty. Start by asking, "what can I learn here?" instead of "how do I prove my point?" When a loved one champions a cause you don't grasp, lean into curiosity. "What sparked your passion for this?" Or, Can you share an experience that shaped your view? Acknowledge that societal evolution isn't a critique of your past, but a testament to humanity's adaptability. Share stories of how your beliefs shifted over time. Perhaps a technology you once distrusted, like ATMs or smartphones, that now simplifies your life. This vulnerability dismantles walls, showing that growth is lifelong, not a betrayal of your legacy. If you're choosing openness over rigidity, comment grow below. Let's cultivate minds that bend but don't break. 9. Overlooking shared spaces in daily movements. Life's pace may slow with age, but the world around you continues to rush forward. Lingering in doorways, pausing mid-step on crowded sidewalks, or stopping abruptly to check a shopping list might feel harmless. Yet, these small moments create ripples. Harried parents maneuvering strollers around you, commuters sidestepping to avoid collision, or a line forming behind you at the ATM. To you, it's a momentary pause. To others, it's an obstacle disrupting the rhythm of shared spaces. This habit often stems from distraction or fading awareness of how individual actions ripple outward. For instance, chatting with a friend in the narrow aisle of a bookstore, oblivious to others waiting to pass, or shuffling through a crosswalk as drivers inch forward impatiently. While no one expects you to match the speed of youth, consistent disregard for spatial dynamics can paint you as indifferent, even if unintentional. The fix lies in mindful anchoring. Before stopping, glance behind to ensure you're not blocking pathways. In crowded areas, gravitate toward edges or designated waiting zones. If you need to pause, raise a hand in a subtle wait gesture, a universal signal that says, "I see you, and I'll be quick." For those with mobility challenges, a foldable cane or bright-colored accessories can alert others to give space respectfully. Consider this. Holding a door for someone behind you, even if it takes an extra second, fosters goodwill. Letting faster walkers pass on narrow trails avoids tension. These gestures aren't concessions. They're acts of mutual respect, signaling, "I'm here, and so are you." If you're embracing spatial mindfulness, comment flow below. Let's move through the world with grace together. 10. Holding on to humor that divides instead of connects. Laughter is timeless, but the jokes that once united generations can now inadvertently push them apart. A quip like "women belong in the kitchen" or "boys don't cry" might have drawn chuckles decades ago, rooted in the cultural norms of your youth. Today, however, such humor lands with a thud, alienating those who fought to dismantle these stereotypes. You might defend it with, "It's just a joke," or "People are too sensitive now." But to younger ears, it echoes outdated values they've worked hard to unlearn. Consider a grandchild's discomfort when you mock their vegan diet. Real food doesn't come from plants. Or a colleague's strained smile after a joke about their accent. These moments, though fleeting, cement a perception that you're clinging to a world that no longer exists. The result? Lighthearted interactions turn landmine-ridden, and people withdraw to avoid confrontation. The solution isn't to erase humor, but reimagine it. Swap punchlines that punch down for ones that lift up. Instead of mocking a teen's slang, playfully ask them to translate it for you. What's Riz mean? Is it like charm? Turn self-deprecation into a bridge. I still can't tell TikTok from Twitter. Help me out. Observe what makes others laugh today. Quirky pet videos, witty wordplay, or absurd memes, and lean into shared joy rather than divisive nostalgia. Humor evolves, and adapting yours doesn't mean losing your spark. It means ensuring your laughter includes, never excludes. When you prioritize connection over comedic comfort zones, you become someone people laugh with, not at. If you're ready to refresh your humor, comment LOL below. Let's turn cringes into camaraderie. 11. Mistaking learned helplessness for self-preservation. As challenges mount with age, it's tempting to default to phrases like, "I can't handle this alone," or "technology is too confusing for me," even when the task is within your capabilities. Imagine insisting a grandchild set up your TV remote every time they visit, despite having managed it before, or refusing to try a mobility aid because it's just easier if someone helps me. To you, this might feel like practicality. To others, it reads as a reluctance to adapt, casting you as a passive observer in your own life. This habit often masks deeper fears, the terror of making mistakes, the shame of asking for help, or the belief that dependency is inevitable. Loved ones initially rally with patience, but over time, resentment brews. Family members feel like caretakers, not companions, while friends grow weary of shouldering tasks you're capable of learning. The shift begins with redefining capable. Start by distinguishing between genuine limitations and perceived ones. Could you troubleshoot a streaming app with a 10-minute tutorial? Could a walking cane boost your independence? Tackle one small challenge weekly. Sending a voice message, using a grocery delivery app, or organizing a drawer without assistance. Each success, no matter how minor, rebuilds confidence. When help is needed, frame requests with clarity. I'd love to learn how you do this. Could we try together? This transforms dependency into collaboration, preserving dignity for both parties. Aging isn't surrender, it's evolution. By embracing effort over perfection, you reclaim agency, showing others that growth doesn't retire with a job title. If you're trading helplessness for empowerment, comment rise below. Let's prove adaptability has no expiration date. 12. Framing experience as absolute authority. Decades of navigating life's twists and turns naturally instill confidence in your judgments. Yet, when every conversation becomes a stage to assert your correctness, that's not how it happened during a friend's anecdote or you're misunderstanding the facts in a debate about history. It shifts dialogue into a battleground. What feels like clarity to you feels like erasure to others, silencing their voices to preserve your narrative. Picture a family dinner where a nephew shares his travel plans, only to be interrupted with, "You're forgetting the political risks. I've been there, so listen to me." Or a book club debate where you dismiss a member's interpretation with, "The author's intent is obvious if you've lived as long as I have." These moments, though brief, leave others feeling diminished, their perspectives treated as footnotes to your definitive truth. The cost of this habit is subtle but profound. Loved ones stop sharing milestones, fearing lectures instead of celebrations. Colleagues avoid brainstorming sessions, anticipating vetoes rather than collaboration. The relationships that once thrived on exchange become monologues, with you as the sole narrator. The remedy isn't self-doubt, but collaborative confidence. Before speaking, ask, does this correction deepen understanding or just my ego? Replace "you're wrong" with "that's an interesting angle." Here's another I've considered. When discussing polarizing topics, acknowledge nuance. My experience taught me X, but I'm curious how Y shaped your view. True leadership lies in elevating collective wisdom, not monopolizing it. By weaving your insights into a tapestry of diverse voices, you transform from an authority figure into a trusted guide, one whose presence enriches dialogue rather than ending it. If you're choosing collaboration over correction, comment together below. Let's build bridges, not pedestals. Conclusion. And there we are, 12 habits that might quietly dim your light in later life, and 12 pathways to reignite it. Aging isn't about clinging to the past or surrendering to decline. It's about evolving with grace, curiosity, and an unwavering commitment to connection. Now it's your turn. Which habit resonated most? What's one small change you'll make this week? Share your answer below. Your story could inspire someone else to begin their own transformation. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights that honor the art of aging boldly. Together, let's rewrite the narrative of growing older, one intentional step at a time. Thank you for being part of this journey. Until next time, keep shining.